Alright. Whoa. Hey!
I have stood knee-deep in mud and bone and filled my lungs with mustard gas. I have seen 2 brothers fall. I have lain with holy wars and copulated with the autumnal fallout. I have dug trenches for the refugees. I have murdered dissidents where the ground never thaws and starved the masses into faith. A child's shadow burnt into the brickwork. A house of skulls in the jungle. The innocent Manders trod and bled and gassed and starved and beaten and murdered and enslaved. This is your coming century. They will eat the Manders. They will make pigs of you all, and they will bury their stamps into your ribs, and they will eat your hearts.
Hey, welcome. This video is a bit of an odd one out for the series I have planned because, to put it bluntly, as much as I tried, I could not beat the game. The reason being, it kept crashing and nothing would fix it. No! The app crashed! No! It crashed! Also, Merry Christmas for whenever this is uploaded. I'm changing editing software, so it'll be hard to tell when this can come out. Also, subscribe so I can keep making videos, thanks. Now then, Amnesia, a Machine for Pigs. This is our indirect sequel to Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and going into this game, much like the rest of the series, I'm going in blind, having never seen gameplay or played the games before. There's a lot of talk about how this game is very short and bad, and having since played the game, I can say that it's a lot different than the last one. Game mechanics are gone, like having an inventory, managing your oil, and keeping your sanity up by staying out of the dark. The lantern is infinite this time around and will never turn off for the most part unless you're in a specific section of the game. And you mostly don't need to manage your health since you'll recover over time. Now here's the part where we'd usually begin the game with me and blah blah blah. But unfortunately, since there were so many issues with recording this game and all we get is a simple retrospective of the game and a story explanation. I happen to like this game's story more than the last one, so let's go ahead and summarize the game's experience before we handle the story like last time.
Daddy, please don't kill me.
Much like last time, we had an opening for our game, and this one's no different. Considering the title of the game, it's clear that the focus is of this mysterious machine, and in true Amnesia fashion, finding out why we can't remember anything in the first place. We wake up in what we can only assume to be our house, and we'll have to search for our children, who are constantly just out of reach from us.
Papa, this way.
The gameplay is fairly linear, so wherever you're led to is likely to be the place where you'll be heading. Being led to the attic, this is where the new lantern comes into play. No reason not to use it as much as you want with the infinite use it has. Passing through the attic, it's clear the children spent a lot of time here with the Melody and all their toys being here alongside 2 cribs in a nearby room. Entering an office-like room, the phone rings with a cryptic message.
Hello? Precious eagle cactus fruit, help us.
For some odd reason, fiddling with this gun offers us access between the walls of the mansion, with one-way windows being present the entire time. Wherever we were before we lost our memories, we can't say for certain we were normal. Making it into the grand hall, we enter a hallway with another phone call from someone who claims to know us.
Mandus, do you know me?
Who are you? Where are my children?
Trapped, Mandus, far below us. The machine is fouled. It is breached. It is flooded. The bulkheads are down. The children are engaged. If you help me, I can help you release them. Restore the power, Mandus, drain the flooding, and restart the great engines.
How? Where should I go? Hello? Hello?
Whoever he is, he seems trapped alongside our children, and to save them, we need to power up some sort of machine. In a room full of displayed animals, pushing the encased bear triggers a switch to access some giant machine room with a valve to turn. On the opposite side of the house, there's another entrance to this room to access another valve. But this only makes us question, why is there such a large and hidden machine in our own home? Once the second valve is opened, a monster rushes out of the nearby room and our vision goes blurry. The lights in our lantern flicker in the monster's presence, and we get some sort of flashback inside the room when we enter it.
Hands are bleeding, raw. I scrub and scrub, but the smell will not lift. How can I hold my children with these hands now? How can I kiss them goodnight with lips that have issued such instruction?
With both valves turned outside, we can exit the mansion through an open gate that leads to more machinery.
I am off to market. I will cry all the way home. I will have none. I will have none at all.
To exit, we see a secret passageway clearly blended with the walls to make itself scarce. A hidden room of machinery in our own home. With several of the doors inside our home locked or sealed, this was our only exit and we made it to the backyard of our home. Descending down these steps, however,
I found an egg. A stone egg.
alright. Whoa. Hey! Ah, shit. Now we're trapped down here. A giant pipe had broken the stairs we were on, and we find another phone call very soon. The phone.
The shaking ground you feel is our attempts to clear the flood waters. Treachery, Mandus. We were undone. Your children are trapped by this act. You must find them before it is too late.
What do you need me to do? How can I find them?
Always deeper, Mandus. Through the piston room and into the tunnels. Then find the bilge and flush the rotten water. I will help you where I can. But you must be swift, my little friend.
To find our children, we need to go deeper and deeper into the machine to reach them. With no one else to guide us, all we can do is place faith into the man on the phone. Inside this area we fell into, we're tasked with puzzles involving opening metal gates with fresh fuses to replace the battered ones. All the while, in the distance, pig monsters run around. Okay, so pigs are going to be chasing us a lot. I see. Every time we see a vision of our children, we can safely say it's some kind of hallucination if they're trapped down below in the machine. But why do we hear them so often? All the while when traveling, we'll find these gramophones which show us recordings of people talking, but we don't know who exactly.
Extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. And you built it all. Good God, man. You have been busy.
It is wonderful how tragedy focuses the mind. What else was I to do? Fall into grief, pine, and fade in my hopelessness? Why not then simply die in that jungle amongst those dead temples?
Past this vault door is a sort of purification process where, in a complicated manner, we're closing one side, purifying ourselves, and opening the other. It's also around this time where, unfortunately, I'm seeing flaws in the coding of the game. Alright, so let's open this door. It crashed! The crashing is a big issue we'll have around this run, and while I couldn't be bothered to count how many times it actually happened, it was well over 30. It's a brand new area, so naturally we deserve a phone call to help us guide through our endeavor. Mr. Phone.
unshackled and you harvest the crust from my eyes. Make me clear, madness, that my thoughts and words can unfouled be.
This message is as cryptic as the first one, but boils down to us helping him and him helping us in return. Walking into room after room, we see what seems to be a truck refueling station with pig corpses laid out wherever we see. With no doors opening, the only way to leave was through a narrow window, and for the first time in the series, we're properly outside in the streets of London, though limited in where we can go. Out in the dark we can see a church, but our only entrance to it is cut off by a truck with no fuel in it to move it, but to refuel it we need a container to even hold the gas in the first place. Coincidentally, in the building just nearby is a box we can use just for that, and returning to the fueling station, things don't seem very well. Oh. Okay. Jesus Christ. That was very worrying for me, but we live and breathe, and move the truck by cranking the very front of it for some reason. I'm not sure how trucks in the 1800s work, so this is brand new to me. Oh. Whoa!
This way, Papa. Come and see. Will it hatch? Can we take it home?
Yes, my darlings. Of course we can take it home.
With it out of the way, we can enter the church nice and easy. Crash, don't crash. In the church, there's plenty of long and confusing hallways, and also a new gramophone message for us to take in. What is this?
Your faith shackles your vision, Professor. It is an iron coffin that keeps you from grasping the future. We require a new deity, one of steam and the wheel, of magnetism and progress. The old god is nothing more than a lamed hog, spitting back offal at mankind.
These claims of making a new god due to the current progress in engineering is a weird thing to take in for certain. And just past this door, a god of pigs. In a room near that shrine of pig, there's a giant furnace for some odd reason and a candle that functions as a switch. Grabbing another candle from one of the hallways, we can flick them both. And back in the furnace room, the fire can ignite. Lever! I don't think this church was very noble if there's something this well hidden inside the main hall. Down the steps we see more steam and pipes. Everywhere we go, there are pipes working for something we have yet to know. So many cages litter the dark basement we're inside of, and they're not empty.
Listen, Papa. Hold the egg to your ear. You can hear the sea.
All we can do is head deeper down. Seems like we won't be alone for long down here. In the darkness, we have to hide and avoid running into the pig creature, since our light will alert it, and getting past that, we run out to an exit. Oh, thank God. Once again, our exit is through a secret entrance in a completely separate building that lets us leave out into the streets again. With only one way to go, we're to head inside a building called Mandis Co., a meat processing factory. Who else do we know by the name of Mandis? It's not long before we get another gramophone recording.
These men, Professor, these so-called men of vision, they would shackle the masses to a wheel and turn it till their backs break. All for that opiate, the lure of profit. These fools who lackey them, these priests, these officials, this government, They make pigs of us all.
But what solution, my dear man? How to break a cycle? You cannot simply remove the promise of a better world for these unfortunates. In the workhouses, in the orphanages, the belief in heaven is surely the only succor one can find.
We do not need to wait. We can bring forth paradise now. We can speed the passion. With only a small sacrifice, we can hold the apocalypse. With just a small sacrifice, we can free our shackles and deliver them to paradise now.
A talk of conflicting beliefs, the man on the recording has the idea that with a small sacrifice of some sort, we can avoid the coming apocalypse and bring ourselves closer to paradise. It takes no time at all for us to reach the piston room, which is available for anyone to see, showcasing a gigantic room. In a nearby office inside the factory, another phone calls for us. Friend on the phone.
Hear me, Mandus. I am compromised. Our contacts must be brief and occasional. Beware the wretches who populate this compound. The way you seek is under the pistons. When you meet the saboteur, you will understand everything.
Deeper is where we need to go, and our calls will be less frequent from now on. Deeper inside, we get to the piston control room, which only requires us to get fuel inside different numbered furnaces to get them activated. But the moment they activate, all lights are gone. Activate! Heading forward, we reach stairs to take us deeper down below the surface, and the gate shuts right behind us, and we're trapped with a pig blocking our exit. Well done. Ow! Bitch! Fuck you! Hiding and running, we jump down a conveyor belt full of coal, with no doors nearby being able to open. Our only exit is with a dumbwaiter used for transferring chemicals with us inside, and predictably free-falling, likely due to the weight limit being exceeded. What's going on? Okay. Did we make it? Open. Fire! Coincidentally, after waking up from the crash, the phone awaits us. Phone man, you're my only sense of hope.
Quickly, Mandus. Find the entrance nearby. The children weep in the darkness, and the floodwaters continue to rise.
The man on the other side is telling us we're close, and urges us to move quicker when he tells us about our children's condition. Our entrance is blocked by a lock with a key nowhere to be found, and downstairs a giant centrifuge missing 2 vials inside to activate. Between the 2 rooms, we chose the low temperature storage before quickly being met with a pig. It's like to be chased by a monster because thank you very much. Oh, hello. It's not long before we find one of the vials to send up the tube. And exiting, we get chased by our pig friend. Ah! I wasn't even scared. Fortunately, he doesn't fall inside the main room, and now we go to the holding pens. Inside, as expected, are several empty cages, and up some steps we enter an extremely dark room that leads us to yet another room that has steam pouring out of pipes, and another phone call waiting for us. This one's a lot more... Oh, hello.
The lift has been sabotaged. You will have to find another way to the tunnels. Take care in this place, Mandus. It is the crucible of the evil that stalks these corridors.
God damn it. The lift here doesn't work, and we're likely to be found by more pigs in the area, so we have to tread carefully. Following a very long and narrow hallway littered with pipes, we only circle back in the room, and there's actually an entire case full of vials we needed for the centrifuge, so that solves that easily. Back inside the main room, we activate the machine and get a black compound ready for us. With it, we can smash it on the lock, and with light on this surgery table, it ignites into a small explosion. With the door now open, we can head deeper following the hallucination of our children. Oh, and then the pig's gonna run across or some shit, isn't it? Or am I gonna be chased?
Down here, Daddy. Faster, faster.
guiding us to drop down in a new room. You know, if you were smart, you'd use your hands to lower yourself slowly, but not in this situation, I guess. We're in a brand new environment that is essentially a room full of shit. Yeah, so it's just a pool of shit. Okay. These are the floodgates we are tasked to open by the man on the phone. And once we turn the valves down, we can access a vault that was previously blocked by the shit-covered water in our way that leads to an all-too-familiar purification room. With that, we get to a dimly lit location that leads us to securely closed doors containing rooms and rooms full of nothing but mutated pigs locked up like prisoners. Our path leads us to a ladder to pipes, and all we can do is descend. The pipes feel endless and we keep descending, wondering just how deep are we. We finally enter a room where we can enter the maintenance for the bilge pumps. The first thing we can access in here is another gramophone, and after a listen...
You seem to have undergone quite a profound conversion in Mexico, Mr. Mendel.
You could not have seen it yourself and not, Professor. As we disembarked, even through my fever, I saw the detritus of this so-called progress. I saw starvation and disease, rot and destruction polluting the waters of the Empire. We are ruiners, you and I, and all of us, and we make the world unclean.
And you took it upon yourself to act as Redeemer.
Professor, I would not be so presumptuous. I am merely a conduit. I am constructing an architecture to wrestle our damnation to the ground and smother it with steam.
The man on there details that his trip through Mexico opened his eyes that every human is slowly destroying the earth with waste, and he plans to create something to save it from our own wastefulness. It's worth noting, however, that the man speaking in all of these recordings is us, with the other person in recording referring him to Mendes, which is what the man on the phone has been referring to as the entire time. We made this giant machine we're exploring right now, and its saboteur we've yet to figure out. In this room, all we can properly see are several platforms to walk on, as it continues near endlessly. In the sewage, there have been sparks of lightning that move around, and these are no faulty wires, but a different kind of current that we discussed in the last video. To get the pumps working to lower the water here, we can turn on another furnace and backtrack to enter a door that was previously closed. Hopefully nothing goes wrong here. For what? Covered in shit. We're turning people into pigs! Oh no 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 no. Get out, get out, get out, get out. No 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 no. Climb, 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 climb! So we have electric currents now. Nothing ever goes easy. To fix our sewage issues, we enter a main pump control room, and after replacing gears and turning a valve, the water goes down and we can walk the path from before without being hunted by a shit monster. Hidden in the sewage was another vault room to pass through, and on the other side, a door leading to the core of the machine. Inside the cramped room lies a staircase descending us further into this hell, and the man on the phone speaks to us without it for the first time. How deep is this?
To London, and you set me upon a mantelpiece, and then you went into the house and gathered the servants and reset you and I on recrafting them, and then you went into the garden and buried those tiny shattered skulls alone. For your children, Mandas, to spare them the world you have created for us all.
We can use an elevator for once, and there we see it. The machine.
Oh dear God, dear Christ, what is this place?
A massive machinery built right under the feet of every man, woman, and child in London, unbeknownst to them all, what is lying under the dirt. In the rod control room, another gramophone lies in wait for us to hear.
And they feel no pain. The process is completely humane.
Humane, Professor? That we judge the acceptable level of suffering by the human condition? Ask the beggar, Professor. Ask the orphan. Ask the whore. Ask the starving, Professor. The weak, the sick, the filthy. Ask them to define your humane.
It seems we got aggressive when discussing the topic of what's considered humane when it comes to our experiment. To fix the rods, all we need to do is head down a series of ladders to open a singular hatch to allow the rods to enter. There we go. With the final problem solved, we can rush to save our children.
Quickly, the air is thin. The little faces turn blue, Mandus. They suffocate, they suffocate.
Daddy, Daddy!
What's happening?
Now, Mandus, set them free. Set them all free. I live. I breathe again. I rise. I will rise to bleach the sky and still the water. I will spin the world wheel and set the future upon the path to redemption.
Where are my children? You promised me my children!
My time is come. More pig. More pig.
We were deceived.
Boys. Boys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Walking away dizzily, we conclude our initial story that was given to us in pieces of a stone egg his children had found.
And, emerging, I raised my head to an uncaring sun, and I cursed this world of pain and despair. This civilization built on the ricketed bones of the unfortunate, on the greed and swell of mammon and empire. Cradling a stone egg in my jacket, I kissed my children farewell, and I crawled my way home.
Only to see a hallucination of his children disappear. Up a ladder, we can only ask questions.
Where are they? Where are my children?
Why do you ask, Mandus? You know the answer well enough.
We supposedly already know the answer for where our children are. We can only assume the worst. With no answers, we start sabotaging the machine and breaking it with the other voice letting us know we were the original saboteur.
What are you doing, little piggy? Do you think I will allow you to sabotage me again?
I want my children, you unholy bastard!
Escaping, we're flooded with memories of our own coming back to haunt us.
Will it hurt them?
A cleansing fire always burns, little Mandus, but it purifies and it makes anew. Did it hurt to carve out the fevered flesh? Did it hurt to cut free the gangrenous foot? Ask instead this: can we save them?
When did I say that? That is not me. That is not me!
A bright light causes us to lose consciousness and wake up in a brand new area covered with pigs. In here, we sabotage 3 separate pipes that direct steam flow with pigs surrounding us, and once all 3 are sabotaged, the pigs will corner us down. Run, 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 run. The big fat fucking pig. Up, 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 up! Get up! Up the ladder, we're on a time limit to escape the buildup of steam that'll burn us to death. Oh boy. Ow! Fuck! Ow! Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Ah! Oh! Oh, we gotta run. The steam's catching up to us.
This is your doing, Mandus. This is what you dreamt it to be.
I will stop you. I will save them.
You are too late. It begins. My work has begun. Kill them, my piggies. Kill them all.
The elevator we took had taken us to the surface, to the very streets of London, but we've only unleashed hell to all the people living here. Whoa. What is going on?
Oh God, no, what have I done?
The pig monsters are rampaging through the city, killing everyone in sight. Everywhere we look are pigs. Everywhere we look, someone is being mercilessly killed by our mistake. What did we do?
I know you're out here. I own this city. I am this city.
No! This is not what I meant! This is not what I meant at all!
Redeem yourselves. Redemption is at hand. Enter the cleansing and set your souls free. For you are born into this and will die as pigs. Only through my redemption can you ascend to the skies and claim the heavens as your kingdom. All of your needs. Ashes, ashes, bones and ashes. For the pile will reach the critical, and we can have such a burning that this city will shine as a beacon of redemption for the world. Do you hear me, Mandus? This is what you planned.
Beast! Creature! Where are my children? Where are my children?
An elevator is right here for us to access, and we head back down to the machine. This is the end of both my playthrough and footage. I tried. I really did, but as much as I tried, it didn't work at all. The game will only crash at this point in time, so I'll never be able to properly finish the game myself, unfortunately, and it's right before the ending as well. Down the elevator, we're tasked with sabotaging the machine at every possibility we get to stop the destruction on the streets of London. Everywhere we go, we're destroying more and more of the machine in some effort to stop it all.
I am here again, at the foot of those stairs, towards the red light of the nursery. Sunset in the window like a bleeding sky, the horizon a slit throat, the seeping dark to drain the guilt from us. I am the jaguar-faced man. I am the feathered serpent. This priesthood is mine.
I can meet him, your great engineer. How marvelous. I must say, Mr. Mandus, my excitement is almost unseemly.
Yes, I can see that. Step this way, Professor. I will be right behind you.
Mandus? Mandus, where the devil are you? I can't see a damn thing. Mandus! We are the pig, Professor. We are all the pig.
The man we've been explaining our machine to in those recordings was a professor, and we killed him while claiming every human is a pig. We don't know what's reality or what's real anymore as we progress further into this hell.
Hear me, Mandus. My gears are adjust. My steam is built. Soon I will spill that blue water and split the egg, the atom, my soul, and there will be a very great burning that we might make the world clean. Be proud, for this is your doing. Until you steeped me in the blood of your own, I was nothing but rotten architecture. You have made me, and I will make the world anew.
The words he speaks of are still incomprehensible to us. We don't know what anything he says truly means. Wherever we are, all we can see is whatever is being used to power this grand machine.
But why did you take my children?
I, Mandus, of all the blood we have spilled together, the first drops fell from your hands alone.
Then I am damned for a philosopher, and everything is lost.
To sabotage the power in the machine, this room controls all of it, but before we can even do anything, a large pig beast with several charges on its body appears and is stopping us from continuing our job to end the machine, and it's both teleporting and invisible, searching for us until we flip the last switch to get rid of it. Nearing the very core of the machine itself, we're almost done with our journey.
Only to save you. Only to spare you. I would have given my soul to spare you this world and its loan. Oh, my children. My children. What have I done? What have I become? I will put it right, my darlings. All of my wrongs will be righted. All of my sins washed clean. I love you, my darlings, and I am sorry. I am sorry for all I have done. I simply loved you all too much for this world.
In this dark room, a heart is placed between several different mechanical limbs, and up the ladder, after activating several different electrical coils, the voice is in fear.
I have you now, creature. I will destroy you.
Stop him! Stop him! Kill him!
It is over. It is time to end this madness.
We enter the center, and we seemingly teleport.
Oh, God help me. I am lost in the dry paper soul of the world.
Now, before we enter the ending, we'll explain the story we've had going for us all this time, and it's not as long or complicated as the last one, so this should be quick. It all starts like this. Our name is Oswald Mandus. We own the meat processing factory we entered long ago, and this building, having been founded in 1828, was inherited by us. His wife Lily Beth had died of complications during the birth of his two sons, Enoch and Edwin.
I held your hand and watched the blood pool between your legs. You lived long enough to see Edwin, but not Enoch. I will take care of them, my love. I promise you this.
Her death caused Mandus to prioritize his work, upgrading all of his factories to increase productivity and safety, but this only caused him to enter debt, with him and the company being denied credit by the bank for his plans. To connect this game with the previous one, A Dark Descent, Mandus and Daniel are related, with Mandus being the great nephew of Daniel. This connection is important because Mandus, upon going through the notes of Daniel, he had learned about both Vitae and the orbs and the power they possessed. With his back against the wall and studying Daniel's notes, he learned that an Aztec tomb in Mexico likely had an orb inside of it and set out to obtain the orb.
Come and see, Papa. We found an egg. A stone egg.
He went to Mexico with his two children, and upon finding the orb, without knowing how these orbs affected people, he saw the future, and in this future, he saw his children's fate as they both go to die in just 16 years in World War I. Seeing the suffering and pain they'd go through, Mandus on that very temple had chosen to kill them himself to spare them the suffering. Returning from Mexico, he had contracted some kind of disease, and with both grief, guilt, and the orb plaguing his mind, his behavior switched to something much more extreme. He believed all humans were just pigs, and had the idea that through sacrifice, as the Aztecs did, he'd create a machine to free the world from the upcoming Armageddon that would fall on them. Construction for the machine had begun, and by using an orphanage he bribed, he'd have child labor to use for cleaning of the pipes in the machine, where some simply wouldn't make it back out. He would as well abduct people from the streets of London who were deemed a filth to society for his plans. The man-pigs that are present throughout this game are created from the mixture of vitae and the grounded up remains of the monsters from the original game. The mixture is what was used to break the lock earlier in the game, but when consumed by a person, it creates a volatile reaction that after death and surgery will bring the subject back to life after being flashed with light. The teleporting man-pig shown in the end of the game was a failed experiment of Mandus that would constantly teleport between worlds and could never be used properly, so it was locked away alone. Due to the nature of Mandus visibly changing, a man named Professor A was used to spy on him as a way of understanding what he was truly doing. This is who we're seen talking to the entire time in the recordings, but Mandus knew he was only just a spy to feign interest in his work. As you might recall, the fate of the professor is easy to interpret as he was thrown into the machine by Mandus.
Damn thing. Mandus! We are the pig, Professor. We are all the pig.
The machine, after years of work, was then created, and as a way to make sure the machine would never fail to completely automate itself, Mandus had split his soul in half to place inside the machine itself, creating a sentient machine that can speak and think for itself. With the separation of his soul into a conscious object, Mandus had realized the mistakes he had made. He was operating off of grief and hatred for years when making the machine, and as a final way of atonement, he sabotaged the machine enough to prevent it from working, and upon returning home, the illness he had from Mexico and the complete shift from escaping the nihility plaguing him knocked him out, and when he woke, he had lost most of his own memories, and we finally get to the beginning of our game, waking up alone and looking for our children. With the story being clear now, we can finally end our game.
Mandus, listen to your heart. You know you are with me. You created me to save the world. I am your friend.
We're in a blue landscape with the voice of the machine, of our twisted part of our soul, pleading with us to spare it, to save humanity from war as it was created for.
Mandus, please, I am no more evil than you. We sought the same thing, to save humanity, ridding them of their painful, stupid, pointless lives. Mandus, stop. Think about what you are doing. For your children, Mandus.
Do not speak of my children, monster.
I did not kill your children, Mandus. You sacrificed them on the temple steps, knowing what the coming century would do to them. Your sons will drown, lungs full of mud and shrapnel on the banks of the Somme. You wanted to save them from the horror to come. That is the vision we shared. Everything we have built to avert this coming nightmare. You and I are one. We are the same. Our souls are entangled. We deserve to make them free.
The tracks we're on show us the intricacies of the machine, the horror and the detail needed to allow something so unrealistic to function. Past this vault is our finale, our judgment.
Daddy.
I have stood knee-deep in mud and bone and filled my lungs with mustard gas. I have seen 2 brothers fall. I have lain with holy wars and copulated with the autumnal fallout. I have dug trenches for the refugees. I have murdered dissidents where the ground never thaws and starved the masses into faith. A child's shadow burnt into the brickwork. A house of skulls in the jungle. The innocent Manders trod and bled and gassed and starved and beaten and murdered and enslaved. This is your coming century. They will eat the Manders. They will make pigs of you all, and they will bury their snouts into your ribs, and they will eat your hearts. Please, Manders, snow for your children.
I lay there and watched the god I had created die. At the end, when we were cold as the stone we had hewn his body from, when the lights were nearly all extinguished, we heard, in the silent distance, the man-pigs singing to one another. Then, as the last lights were gone, and we lay together in the deep, they drifted away, and all was silent. Such a silence I have never known. And as the dust settled on my open eyes, and we lay together embraced forever, I heard, miles above us, the sounds of the city turning over in its sleep. A church bell ringing out, and in that moment, the new century was born.
The very core of the machine is shaped just like an Aztec temple. The machine begged us to not allow the coming century and Armageddon to pass, but in our effort to cleanse our sins, we killed ourselves on the machine, and because the machine was part of our own soul, it died with us, leaving nothing more than a hollow shell left under the streets of London. The part of the ending that sticks with me the most is just how accurate it all was. The visions he saw were true. The countless lives lost in wars and genocide of the 20th century are all real, and that machine was to solve all of these solutions with the smaller sacrifice of the people in London. There's really no way of knowing if it would or wouldn't work. We've seen the power of the orb time and time again. With Vitae they can grant immortality, expel evil shadows, and even open a brand new world. With the design of the machine centered around the orb and a large amount of Vitae hoarded by man-pigs, would it really have worked? And if it did, should he have let the machine activate? And that's Amnesia, a machine for pigs. Honestly, while the gameplay and all the crashing issues annoyed me, I gotta say the story for this game was a lot better than I thought it'd be, and definitely ranks higher than the last one as well. The soundtrack as well is amazing, and while the horror and the gameplay doesn't match up well with the first, it's far from being a bad game, because they're both great. And that's all I've got to say. See ya.